So here we have game two with Cody Williams on the Hyperloops against Nam Vo from the Card Guys. Cody on Briar, Nam on Bravo, star of the show.
So we've actually seen that Briar can compete at the highest level, and so this will be interesting to see what Cody brings to the table here, because normally we refer to the metagame and we talk about the three pillars. However, Briar is one of those dark horses that, along with Chain and Lexi, in my opinion, that really have a shot to that can take down any one of the pillars on any given day.
Yeah, she's certainly one of the less represented rune blades in the classic constructed meta nowadays, at least.
Mm-hmm.
But with cards like Channel Mount Heroic and her her long list of new cards from Everfest with the Swarming Gloomveil and the Revel in Runeblood, she can still pack some very explosive turns that can get through Bravo Star of the Show's defenses.
Mm-hmm. The embodiment also can allow for a clean block of the Winter's Wail, which is probably pretty important because most Briar decks run pretty red line in general. So we'll see if that comes up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like the players are just finishing up their sideboarding right now. Cody did win the die roll, so we'll see if he chose to go first or second this game. Now, if you were playing a Briar to a Bravo, what would you choose?
I would probably go first. The chance that you get an embodiment is pretty high. The chance that you get some damage in is pretty high. You don't allow the Starvo player to start with an arsenal. However, the downside is that they're going to get to filter their hand. So it's one of those things as Briar, you're either going very ham here, or you're making a rune chant arsenal pass. You're not kind of going in halfway here. Earthlore Surge into Ravenous Rabble.
So this is coming in for 7 with Go again.
Yep.
Okay.
Nice breakpoint here. Likely to get 2 or 3 cards depending on Nam's hand.
Yeah, and Nam has chosen to use Stalagmite as his shield, so being able to give Briar a Frostbite token and potentially slow down her play whenever she runs out of cards in hand seems like it'll be very powerful here. We do see him blocking with one of his Oaken Old being, in my opinion, probably the most powerful deck that Starvo has in his arsenal.
Yep. I'm extremely surprised he took 4 damage here. What cards could be that valuable that you're... Okay, I guess if they don't block, that makes a lot of sense. This is still quite a bit of damage leaking through on turn 1.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not... Is he going to block the physical damage here?
Looks like he's taking
that. Surprising.
Oh, wow. With the turn 1 Awakening, though, a very powerful, almost classic turnaround. So right here, he's getting, what is that? Twice 7, 14 Seismic Surge tokens. He can look for whatever he wants. And there's a Pulverize.
Yep, Pulverize is going to be the weapon of choice for Nam. Creating 10... I guess... No, 14 Seismic Surges. However, this tag doesn't have Go again, so this is...
Yeah, he didn't have the Bravo Fuse, so it doesn't have Dominate and it doesn't have Go again. But still, 14 damage is a lot, and if it hits, it will reduce the power of Briar's first attack by 4. And that's just an on-hit. That's not a crush. It's not anything fancy.
Yep.
And here is the entire hand from Cody. Thanks to the Embodiment of Earth, it looks like it's blocking for a bit more, but not enough to nullify all the damage.
Mm-hmm. I presume this is just going to pass back to Okay, so we're on their end step right now.
Yep. End of Cody's turn. Nam is using the Crown of Seeds.
Yep. No reveal.
It looks like a very ice-heavy hand, but a Spinal Crush is one of those cards that's effective against go-again style strategy like you see from Briar.
Yep. Briar doesn't have any embodiments right now, and quite a few of her cards are 2 blocks. So this could be a little bit tricky here. We'll see, depending on what exactly is in Cody's hand.
Yeah,
we're
similar
likely
to
to see at
last
least
turn.
a block of 6 here.
Right. Cody has to make the decision on whether it's worth blocking with a lot of cards and having very little for his next turn, or not having go again on anything.
Yep. Another thing that we're going to have to look at as the game progresses is what type of defense reactions the Briar's running, if any.
Did I miss anything?
The game has
Only
started.
everything.
Only everything.
So I'll give you the TLDR.
Yeah, give me the
So-
TLDR.
So Briar came in for 7 damage on turn 1. Nam fused an Awakening, searched for a Pulverize, used Pulverize. Briar threw her hand at it, still leaked a couple damage. Nam drew up and sent a Spinal Crush across. Briar blocked with armor and a card, and now we're here.
Seems reasonable.
Fused Bramble Spark.
Looks like Briar has 2 arsenal slots.
The other one is his embodiment tokens.
Yeah, I know.
All right, but this is pretty powerful. We got a Force of Nature and a Bramblestark boosted Exude Confidence. So this is going to
Very
be,
lovely.
yeah, +4 right now. Unless Bravo blocks it with like a Crippling Crush or a Pulverize, it's likely that he's going to have some trouble playing defense reactions.
Yep.
And it has go
Briar
again.
doing what Briar does, play a bunch of 0 cost things, give them go again, and have some on-hit effects to worry about.
Give
Very
me
powerful. Very powerful.
Nationals.
Nationals vibes. Something to worry about here, though, is that Nam has already been able to chew up some of his armor. So that means his fuses now are going to be really powerful, and he also still has 2 uses on that Stalagmite, which are big problems for Briar. Any more Spinal Crushes and Oakenolds of that sort are going to do a lot of work.
Yep. The arcane damage coming in from Bramblespark hit, but because Force of Nature is only an on-hit draw effect, all it did was give the embodiment to Cody. It didn't give him that extra card draw.
Exactly. And now that we have this eroded Briar, that is the only embodiment he's going to get this turn.
Yep.
And it looks like Nam is bringing in his Stalagmite, one of 2 free Frostbite tokens coming in. This will be...
Is this only a block for 4 versus?
No, he needs to respect this much more.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was thinking that can't be right.
Yeah, 7 on the board right now. I believe he's being presented with 8 from the Exude Confidence. And there he's activating Crown of Seeds. Or maybe he isn't? Yeah, which will prevent the 8th damage. Ooh, and Cody is reminding him that he can't activate Crown of Seeds.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yep.
Why did he draw?
Oh, hold on. There actually is a window where he could do it, but he's already
But he-
declaring it's here.
He already took the arcane damage too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're past that window. Should we say something?
I
Yes, you
did he get his card back?
I think he drew from the top of the deck. I mean, it's not in the arsenal, right?
Hold on.
Did
I would say go in there in the Discord.
I mean
and check
Cody
this.
reminded him about Crown of Seeds, right?
He allowed it.
He allowed it.
Okay.
Right, because technically you can do it before just playing blocks on the Exude.
Yeah.
This is one of those things, though. You need to be clear about the stages and phases. Yep.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Reminder for those watching. This is far from professional level rules enforcement, and it is up to the player's discretion to allow take backsies or promote. Because in this kind of format where we're pitting really good players against really good players, most of the time they're not going to have any issues. But obviously, we're at home, we're on TTS, things are a little bit different. So we can, we want to promote an optimal play from both players. So he knows that Nam would not have missed that in a tournament setting. So
Final Crush coming across for 9.
this is the second Spinal Crush, right?
Yep.
It is.
Yeah. This
He
is
has
the most
not
impactful
fused
card.
anything.
It don't matter with this card.
Yep.
This one says all your 2 blocks are looking real weak right now.
Yep.
Nice. With that embodiment, I believe that's a block for 6. Leaving Briar with a 2-card hand, right where you want to be. So now is a very powerful way to start. Especially with the swarming.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Swarming Gloomveil is just one of those cards from Everfest that I think pulls its weight easily. I think this is probably one of the best 0-drop attacks that we have in the game right now.
A lot of people were talking about, how would you balance the format, right? And if Starvo was gone, I think Viserai would be one of the best decks in the format. And my opinion, Swarming Gloomveil would hurt the deck enough if you were to get rid of that card. You don't have to touch the combo itself. Swarming would hurt the combo by default because they really, really require a number of go again cards and on hit effects and things like that. So if you hit Swarming Gloomveil, I think it would do enough damage.
All right, here we see that second block from Stalagmite, bringing in that Frostbite token.
Very aggressive. I think he must have a good hand. This also means.
Do you like the Stalagmite block here? I mean, if
it means if it's yeah, exactly.
If it's a red, it goes to the arsenal. If it was, I don't think that actually did much.
Yeah, but here we do have a fuse.
Yep.
Depends on what that 4th card in his hand is. Doesn't look like he's reaching for it though.
No, this is just an Autumn's Touch now for 7 Dominate Go Again. Probably one of the less impressive fused cards that Bravo can present.
Yep. And I think what Nam's really going for here, which is something that's very, very important against decks like Briar, is having an arsenal slot. Having the arsenal slot allows you to cleanly block a 4-power on-hit effect from Briar, which they have many, many of. And then also presenting the 4 damage from the Winter's Wail with the Frostbite, which Frostbites are obviously very, very good against Briar. So this puts the Briar opponent in an awkward situation where they're taking a bunch of damage. Your opponent's going to have an arsenal slot, and you have to think about this Frostbite that's coming through. So.
Yeah, early on, Cody was able to use equipment to prevent the Winter's Wail. Right now, he doesn't have that luxury, so he's presenting an E-Strike instead.
Yep, he still has a couple blocks left over there in the equipment. He's going to have to utilize that skull cap at some point or another, and I know the skeleton is going to be one of the last things he wants to block with, but doesn't usually get much use out of it. So this is probably going to be an E-Strike go again. Be my thinking here.
Yeah, we don't see him drawing a card. We don't see him putting the +2, and we see that one card in arsenal and in hand.
Yep. What Nam's going to have to really be worried about here, as somebody who's played Starvo into Briar multiple times, the one thing you have to try to get through is that Snapdragon Scalers. As long as it's on the board, things can be tough. They can at any point just go off on you when you didn't expect it, and Bravo does not block very efficiently when it comes to a bunch of 4 attacks with on-hit effects. They can block the first one all right, but the second and third one, and then you count for a Channel Mount Heroic at some point in there, it can get pretty tough.
Yeah, we haven't seen ourselves a Channel Mount Heroic coming in from Briar yet. So one is probably due very soon, though Channel Lake Frigid over on the Starvo is probably, if this Spinal Crush's card against the Go Again strategy, this is the other best card.
Absolutely. Channel Lake Frigid, if he's able to keep this for even 2 turns, is going to be very, very detrimental for the Briar opponent, unless he was able to, with these Earth builds, they can get around it a little bit better by pitching a blue and attacking with their 0 cost cards, but it does hurt still.
Yeah, and we have seen a few blue cards over on Cody's side. Let's see how many cards he chooses to use to block the Winter's Wail. That'll give us a sense for how confident he is in his ability to strike through the Channel Lake Frigid.
Yep. Yeah, him playing Blue Autumn's Touch and things like that makes me think that he's definitely got some channel mounts in there somewhere or another. We haven't seen him yet, obviously. But
yeah, he's choosing to get rid of a Storming Gloomveil and his Bloodsheath Skeleton to stop that Frostbite token. So it looks like he does have something he really wants to push through this turn.
Absolutely. Yep, he's got the blue card. Just going to leave him with 2 floating. If he has 2 0 cost Go Agains, then he'll be able to pay for both of those. There's one of them. Revealing another Sonata.
Coming in for 4 damage over here.
Mm-hmm. Pitching an ice card. That's got to be careful about that right now. You want to keep those ice cards if you can.
Yeah, if he had 2 ice cards in his hand, he'd be able to keep around the Channel Lake Frigid. If he only had 1, then it might be worth pitching this to the Crown. Though it does depend if he wants to be more defensive this turn, or if he is just trying to set up for that Bravo fuse next turn.
Exactly. And he does have the 2 Go Agains, so, or the 1 Go Again plus the follow-up, at least. Don't think he'll have
for a start here, not having Go Again. And he can't use his Snapdragon Scalers because of the Channel Lake Frigid, so you're not giving Scar for a Scar Go Again for free.
So it doesn't look like the Channel Lake's doing a lot this turn, but in reality, it's actually doing a lot because it's preventing that play where he's able to go into the Gorganian Tome, into the Snapdragon Scalers on the Scar for a Scar, into the Sword Swing, and then also still keep that Arsenal card. So he prevented quite a bit of damage there with that. We got another Awakening coming in here with Fuse. He's probably going to go grab that last Spinal Crush in his deck would be my guess. That or a Crippling Crush. Now that his armor block is very, very weak on the Briar side, either of those is going to be very, very impactful.
Yeah, it looks like we're seeing a Crippling Crush over here, and this is a very strong time to have it. With that Channel Lake Frigid out, even if Cody had a large defense reaction in Arsenal, it's going to cost an additional card up into the Crippling Crush. Now having 3 cards in hand, we know we're not going to see that dominated with Go Again from Bravo Star of the Show's ability, but it is nothing to laugh at. Present 11 damage with that Crush on hit.
I'm hoping these are 2 ice cards in his hand, which they are not. But he does have the
No,
fuse,
I forgot about the pulses there.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be 13 Dominate Go Again. For anybody that doesn't know, that's extremely fair. This is the turn that Nam needed to turn this game around. Briar's been kind of in the driver's seat so far, keeping the pressure up every turn, and this 13 Dominate's coming at a time where his opponent has 1 armor block left, which that's not nearly enough to do what you need here.
Yeah, a lot of people, and earlier we were talking about, what you might ban to make Viserai weakened but not too weak. I think one of the general consensus that I've heard at the beginning of a lot of the conversations was that Awakening was the card that would really need banning because it lets you pull off turns like this, where you just use those 2 resources to get something for free that can be so devastating and turn the game around.
Absolutely. And I think the dev team's argument for not banning it was Michael Hamilton's list that won without it. But I do agree that Awakening is and it is just a flawed design for a metagame. But it is you can play around it, but it punishes the aggro decks in the format, which really stinks. Valuing keeping the blink here for the frostbite on hit effect. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think of this? Pitching the pulse here to try to present a frostbite and then keeping the blink for Arsenal instead of just holding
That's
on
totally
to
fine. He
yeah
has a charged tunic, and he's gonna have 5 cards basically if he wants.
yeah.
He doesn't need the pulse to represent 2 elements.
Okay. Here's the last Sonata that we knew he was going to draw. Oh,
Oof. And it looks like a full whiff showing 2 of those channel
Channel Mounts.
heroics.
Yep. That is very, very good for Nom. Nom definitely wanted to see that.
Yeah, using his tunic to give himself that 5-card hand. So pitching the pulse ended up putting that a bit higher up, though I don't think he's going to be seeing that second cycle anytime soon. We got another Bravo fuse out of that 5-card hand.
This is very, very close to being game now, because he's presenting 13 to Briar's 11 and no embodiment tokens now. He is going to have a very hard time getting back into this game. At minimum here, it looks like his life is 1 lower now, so he actually going to get some value out of this skull cap, which he needs to go ahead and do. I would probably save it for the Winter's Whale if you plan on doing any sort of attack on your turn. He's going to have one more turn to crack
the
back
damage
at
now.
him.
It's not the frostbite.
Yep. He's going to have one more turn to crack back at him, it looks like. Curious to see how he blocks this turn. That Arsenal card has been there a minute, right?
I think it has.
It's been there so long that
Yeah.
we just,
You think
I
he
like it.
accidentally put a tome there?
it could be an unmovable that he didn't want to pay 2 cards for.
You
On
think the
other
Briar
hand,
would be playing unmovable?
I highly doubt it, but I mean, generally the Briar cycles through their arsenal pretty quickly.
He would have unmovable the Crippling Crush for sure, right?
It could be a Channel Mount Heroic waiting for a blue Earth card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think the blue. Well, he pitched a Weave Earth at one point, but that was on the Channel Lake Frigid turn. So I don't know. It's tough to say. That could be a number of things.
Mm-hmm.
And
Also
also,
be
don't
something to
forget, if that wasn't a movable, there was the Channel Lake Frigid out there, so it would have been 2 cards just to pull that out.
Yep. I don't think any of the Briar lists I've seen are playing unmovable, and if I was playing Briar, I don't think that I would play unmovable. But I think this block right here, this turn right here, is going to determine the outcome of this game. I think if he blocks incorrectly, he could lose. But if he blocks correctly and puts his life total low enough to where he can present lethal still on the crackback, then he's going to be in good shape. Also, quick question: what do you guys think about do you think that Null Rune is absolutely necessary against Briar?
You mean the Null reboots that we see?
I personally do think they are. I just want to hear what other people think because they don't present nearly as much arcane as most Runeblade decks.
I think that the big question is, are you going to get more than 3 value out of it during the game?
Exactly.
Compared with the Iron Hide, which does 2. You are pumping in more resources, but Bravo, star of the show, pumps in resources on his opponent's turn for Crown of Seeds anyway. So I think the Null Rune boots are advantageous.
Yep, I agree. Going down to 5 here off this swing, which means the Winter's Wail is not going to quite present lethal, but I'm assuming he's going to block it with Skull Cap. Yep. Keeps him with 3 cards. Nam's going to keep an arsenal, which is really, really good for him. And now we're going to see if the Briar can produce any embodiments to save him next turn, because we're at the point in the game where he's got no armor left for those fuses. So the fuses become lethal now. I shouldn't
Cody
say
choosing to
fuse,
come in
but
with an E-strike.
I'm gonna assume this one's for go again to try to or present some shenanigans with the arsenal card, but in reality it's probably just for 7. Because if this is just for 7 here, he's not dead to a lightning press. If he has fuse in hand, he just takes this damage and doesn't care anything about this regular damage. But if he doesn't have
like Nam
fuse,
is
then
blocking with 2 cards right there.
Yep, I think that's the right call if you don't have the triggered ability for Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
he's
think
probably
waiting for the tunic to be charged up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And at this stage in the game, Winter's Wail by itself is, with presenting a frostbite, it's quite devastating. You're still at 12 life, so you can take a hit and survive. You just gotta wait for that one hand that actually kills your opponent.
Yeah, Cody right now doesn't have the embodiment, and he only has 1 block out of equipment left. So the Winter's Will is either going to eat 2 cards, it's going to give him the frostbite, or it's going to eat something that has 3 block, of which I would say the minority of cards in Briar tend to.
Yep, definitely not many cards that block for 3 other than like the channel mounts and Force of Nature and things like that. Most things are going to block for 2 and rely on that buff from the embodiment, and most of the attacks themselves do not block for 3. So I think E-Strike is one of the few in their deck that does. I know we've gone through most of those at this point. But if he does have a 3 block in hand, 3 block plus Skull Cap is looking real appealing right now. Trying to get that last value out of your Skull Cap, because it's very, very possible that Nam's going to take a bunch of damage and go to a low life on whatever crackback turn that you have, and then you might not be able to get that last point of value out of it.
Yeah, Cody choosing just to block with Skull Cap, so he's still going to get that Frostbite token. He just decided he would rather have 2 life now than 1.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely the right call if he's able to utilize his hand here. That's the big thing, is now he has to present lethal. So if he isn't able to present lethal with his hand, then that was not correct.
Yeah, so this is the card that's been in Arsenal for a while. It is a Bramble Spark, which it is fused by this Weave Earth.
We had 2 Weave
So
Earths
it's going to
in
be
this hand.
+3 and an Arcane.
Probably going to play the Weave Earth to get the Embodiment of Lightning as well. Follow up with some sort of 0 attack. Some sort. Him not having resolved the Channel Mount Heroic is usually a nail in the coffin in this matchup, though.
Mm-hmm.
If
Yeah,
they
Channel
can...
Mount Heroic, I think, is the hit or miss for Briar, both in Blitz and CC. That's the card that gives you the turns that win the games.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You just usually need to resolve 1 with a few attacks behind it, and that's usually enough. Exude Confidence is a great one here, which I'm assuming they're going to resolve this correctly this time with Crown of Seeds first.
Yeah, though it is worth noting the Weave Earth does not impact the
Yes.
Exude Confidence. The Embodiment of Lightning gives it the go again, but it's only getting boosted right now from Bramble Spark.
Correct. This is going to be 7 attack, I believe, with 2 on the follow-up. +2 on the follow-up attack. Is Blue Weave Earth does +1 or +2?
It's +1, but it's +2 if the follow-up is used.
Gotcha.
So looks like there's not going to be a possibility of fusing, given that Cody only has 1 card in hand.
Yep. This is looking like 3, 4 with the Crown of Seeds, so he needs to block 3 more, I believe, to get this fully blocked. Did he
Yeah,
take...
but there is no on hit presented right now. And it looks like he did use the resource to prevent the arcane.
Yeah. So he's just gonna take the 3 damage here.
Yeah,
He
Cody
took-
reminding him that
yeah. Took one too many there.
All right, and then that last card is a Snatch, which does present the on hit, but does not get boosted from the Weave Earth. So this is just going to be 4 damage right now with that draw on hit effect.
And with the Snapdragon still alive, I'm putting a 3-block and Cradle Fist in front of this.
Yeah, if that thing isn't fully blocked, Cody would be snapping those scalers for sure.
Absolutely.
He still might, considering the Rosetta Thorn is worth 4 damage here.
For sure.
But
For sure.
we'll see.
Yeah, it looks like he's even pre-charged it as it will before Nam has decided on his block.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that means Nam said no blocks or if he's teasing him over there. On take
Oh,
4.
looks like
So Nam
yeah,
has
so
to
Cody
have
is going to
Fuse.
get that card draw.
Yeah, Nam has to have the Bravo
Pulse.
ability in hand.
Yeah, really gambling on what this card from Cody is. If it's something with Go Again, if it's something that costs 0, that deals 5 damage. You know, there are many possibilities.
Yep.
Making a green chant here, I presume. Yep.
Just enough to
Yeah, so this
present
is
lethal.
going to present
But-
lethal.
Well, he's got the one floating from the Winter's Bite still, so he could go to 1 here, and if he has Dominate in hand, the game's over.
Yep. And it looks like he is using his Tunic, so he's only taking 2 damage total.
Yeah. So this game
But he
should
did
be
keep
over.
all 3 cards in hand.
I don't think there's any combination of cards unless he's playing a defense reaction that can stop a dominated attack here.
Yeah, nothing like the surprise one-off red unmovable.
Yeah, it's going to be 7 power evergreen. Or is that a red evergreen? Looks like it's red, which is 9 power, which is definitely game.
GG.
Yep. So
GG.
Cody has conceded here. We have Namvo beating Cody Williams in the second of our marathon games. That's suckered right now for 1 game to the Hyperloops and 1 game to the TheCardGuyz.
GG.
GG.